My name is Sadiq Khan. I'm running to be the Mayor of London at the elections on May the 5th. It's great to be here at the Climate Change Conference in Paris. I'm really excited about the work you've been doing around the world. And one of the reasons, Gino, why I wanted to speak with you is to tell you that should I be elected the mayor in May next year, I want London to join as a full member of ICLEI with the fantastic work that you do.
We would be delighted to work under your leadership, support you, support London, but in particular also to share the experiences from London, a global city with many of the other cities. We are an organization of 1,000 cities around the world. So we'll be very much looking forward to work under your leadership. Now, just maybe in a short note, I mean, what are the priorities, sustainability priorities that you would see today for the future? Let's say in 5 years that need to be undertaken in London, but also in the long term, 2030, 2050. How do you see that trend? And in particular, what should be driving sustainability in London?
Well, one of the reasons why I'm here in Paris and keen to work with ICLEI is because I want London to be the greenest city in the world. And I want to be the greenest mayor London's ever had. We've got to think now about the 21st century problems and find solutions. That means thinking about housing, thinking about transport, thinking about jobs and growth. The reality is, cities don't simply walk the walk, talk the talk, we've got to walk the walk. So I want to know how we can solve problems around air quality. How can we make sure our homes are sustainable? How can we make sure that our buses, for example, are running electric or hydrogen powered cells? How can I as mayor use the power of procurement to make sure that the next generation of public transport, the next generation of housing, the next generation of jobs are sustainable? Look, we've got a choice. We can either be the last generation that doesn't understand this problem, or the first generation to solve the problems. I want to be the first generation to solve the problems.
Thank you very much. I have a very particular question, because we have been following the privatization process that takes place and the outsourcing process that the public sector and particularly local governments and cities are actually needed to be undertaken. What is your position on that?
I think you've got to be very careful about a race to the bottom. So the downsides of privatization is the companies that bid for the contracts, the person or the company that bids the lowest wins the contract. You've got to be a bit careful and invest in the future. So in the short term, that might be invested in sustainable energy, renewable energies, which may cost a bit more, but it's an investment in our future. What I'm keen to do is make sure we've got sustainable cities, because it's cities working together that will solve the world's problems. Here in Paris, hopefully there'll be an agreement, but actually what I've seen is cities working together, and it's really, really exciting. And so I think it's really important we create jobs that are green, we have growth that's sustainable, we have homes that are built that are sustainable, we have public transport that works for all. What we don't want is a race to the bottom, which means our future being at risk.
So many are saying criticals of sustainability, say, sustainability is very expensive. What would you like to tell them?
The alternative is not worth thinking about. This is a price worth paying. I'm a father with two daughters. One is 16, one is 14, I worry about them. In the interest of saving a few pennies now, we could risk their future. And we need to make sure we don't jeopardize their future. Look, we've got to make sure we work together to solve the Earth's problems, countries' problems, cities' problems. There's a former mayor who said that the 19th century will be remembered for a century of empires. The 20th century of nation states. The 21st century, the century of cities. And I want to be the mayor of a city that will be the greenest city in the world. That's the ambition.
Thank you, Mr. Khan, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very
much.